All right, we are back for round number 2 at starting out at 1-0. Pretty good. This hand is quite good. It's missing a reanimate spell, but it's got a little bit of disruption. It's got lots of mana, and it's got an Entomb, which is good. If we don't draw a reanimate spell right away, we're probably just going to discard the Gristlebrand to not get ourselves wastelanded. Usually, this means they're on miracles, but it also could be show and tell. We have a couple of unmasks here, which is excellent to go along with our animated that we just drew. Kind of right on time. Force of Will, Brainstorm, Spell Pierce. So we're gonna have to take the Spell Pierce and the Force of Will, and hope he doesn't brainstorm into another Force of Will. And it is miracles, so that's good to know. He won't be able to Flusterstorm because he's going to have to pay 2 mana, so he has to hit exactly Force of Will. There's only 3 left in their deck, so that is pretty good news for us. They'll have 3 looks. We can also put like a Terminus on top, Swords on top to hide from discard. Both of those would be pretty decent for them. We do not have a land drop. We've already made our land drop. This is all assuming they don't draw a Force of Will, which would be very unfortunate for us and would probably cost us the game. But we will continue playing even if they do. So anyway, if they don't concede here, it means they probably have a Terminus or Swords to Plowshares on top of their library. So we're going to hope it's not a Terminus, or that we can combo off again and get rid of this Tundra, which would be great. Looks like we're not going to be able to do that. But we can get another Gristlebrand in the graveyard, and we have 1, 2, 3 more reanimate spells, so that's pretty nice. We're going to Therapy, naming, because he could have hid cards anyway. We're going to name Swords to Plowshares, because if he kept that in hand, that would be unfortunate for him, but Terminus on top is good either way. Okay. So you can go Terminus Portent, which is pretty good play. Or Swords to Plowshares, Portent. Not going to really want that one. Well, we might. 11, 10, 9. I think we get rid of 2 more. He's got a back to basics. I think we get rid of the 2. That thing. Entomb might be good. We definitely just want all 3 of these. I don't think he's gonna be casting back to basics anytime soon. So I think having one fetch land for a basic is enough. I guess we don't need. We got rid of the Faithless Living I'm just a little worried about my life total, but hopefully it's a swords on top, not a terminus. Okay, it's a terminus. Okay. So he's got Portent that he can cast now. Brainstorm. Did I miss that one? I don't even know anymore. Probably got rid of the back to basics. Portent, okay. Top, shuffle. Okay, that's good news for us. So the obvious thing to get here is Griselbrand. He needs a Swords Plushers for it. But he has a Snapcaster and a back to basics that we know about. I think we actually just want to get Chancellor off of Exhume, because this can be flustered later. Chancellor, if he swords that, that's better than if he swords the Griselbrand for us. It also keeps him from Jace bouncing. If he Jace bounced the Griselbrand, we would probably end up losing. It also keeps him from snapcasting anything too good, or anything at all this turn. We don't want to get Terminus again. Now we don't want to get Flusterstormed. Still don't really want to get Jaced. Don't want our Griselbrand swords. So I think we're actually just going after Chancellors here to try and kill him with those. And if he answers those, then we will get Griselbrand and hope he can't find a third answer. And now like a Jace bounce wouldn't be very good. It needs Terminus exactly. Go to 4. Get another Chancellor here. And hope he doesn't draw Terminus. He did not draw Terminus, so I think that means we're good. Yep. Yep. Miracles is actually pretty good at beating Griselbrands, but usually the drawing 14 gets you there. Sometimes not. Terminus or into Jace is, can get you, can beat you. So we like to bring in like Archetype and Iona as a little combo against them. Iona on white plus Archetype generally means they can't win. And then all these discard. I still like the Tide Spout because it's another win condition. Bouncing all their stuff. You can cut all of those because they're not really good on the draw. Cut 1 therapy because we brought in 4 other discard spells. This hand's pretty good. It's got a fast combo, but it needs a black card, but we're on the draw, so that's good. Oftentimes, I think you need to discard. I haven't really thought about it that carefully, but usually you're going to cast like at least 2 discard spells before you beat Miracles on the sideboard of games. 2, like if you go discard turn 1 and turn 2, you can often win. If it goes on to like turn 3 or 4, you might need a 3rd or 4th discard spell. I would almost want to keep this, but I'm not guaranteed to draw another black card next turn, and I have the combo if this gets his only answer. usually they just Flusterstorm this first discard, and then they're protecting either a Force of Will or a Surgical. I mean, their deck is almost all counter magic post board, plus Surgicals and Snapcasters. Could Spell Pierce. This doesn't actually play around Flusterstorm. Since I don't really see anything else my hand is doing, and sometimes they want to cast Flusterstorm and then cantrip into their next counter spell, I'm actually going to try and go for it here. Also, they can have like Containment Priest. Okay. So he had 3 counter spells. All right. So that's probably why he kept his hand, was the 3 counter spells. That's a good one. Counterbalance is quite hard to beat. It's a good reason for us to have tried to go for it last turn as well. He only has 2 cards though, so hopefully this doesn't blind hit or him having a brainstorm. Okay, so we have to get something right now or we lose. Alright, his hand was very good. It was triple Flusterstorm, Force of the Will, Containment Priest on top. And that's probably enough to beat us, but I think we have one more shot at this. We could have played that first, actually. But we don't have any answers to Containment Priest, and I don't generally side them in because we only really have one in the whole deck anyway. And it's a dead card against most of their deck. So we basically have to hit Gristlebrand plus Lotus Petal or the game is over. This is what often happens when we're on the draw on the sideboarded games. Yeah, well, we didn't hit any of it, so GG. Go on to game 3 and hope the Chancellors do some work for us. So we need to make room for them because the Chancellors are our best bet at going off on turn 1, especially when they have a lot of Flusterstorms in their deck. And Iona plus Archetype is a good enough follow-up, so we don't need the Tide Spout. What do we want? What do we want? Usually cut one of these things. I think Exhume is the worst one just because it's the 2-mana one that can be Flusterstormed. Can't keep hands like this in the sideboard games. We will give this one a try. It's not ideal, but don't really want to mulligan that much. Alright, well, we will put that in the graveyard. And hope we draw Reanimate. Reanimate off the top. Under the Iona. Reanimate. Or Iona into Reanimate would be ideal. Perfect. Nope. We will loot again. We need to find a Animate dead, I think, because they can't fluster it. And then we're hoping they don't have Force of Will or Surgical Extraction. Could hit Reanimate Lotus Petal as well. Okay. Well, we'll keep the land and then Reanimate. Reanimate on turn 1 on Iona beats Miracles. On turn 2, they can find a Jace. They can find a Jace in time. But not if they miss a land drop at any point. Hoping this works out. Our next card was a Lotus Petal. That's unfortunate. That would have won us the game most likely. Pretty unfortunate. This is what's unfortunate, because if we had hit that, we would have won. Most likely. They would have needed Force Will plus Surgical, or double Force Will. And the turn 1 Iona is good enough. They can't really... They have to have like a what do you call that thing? Vendilion Click to block it one turn, and then they can Jace. Now it's getting to the point where, and it's Animate dead, so even if this resolves, they can still Jace and potentially bounce it. But we will try. I've literally never named blue with Iona because they just have too much removal. And in blue, they only have Jace. Alright, they got found another Force Will. Chances are dwindling. Only we had hit that instead of the second land. If they miss a land drop here, though, that's promising. We do need to hit another spell soon. They probably have a Flusterstorm, so we need to hit Reanimate or Animate Dead again. Alright, well, they missed their land drop. They didn't shuffle, so they probably either have Containment Priest, Surgical Extraction, or Flusterstorm here. Can't imagine they have another Force Will. Brainstorm. The fact that they missed their land drop, if this resolves, I'm feeling like that's pretty good. They're going to have to hit a couple land drops in a row to bounce it. Put that on white and pass the turn. Feel like we have a decent chance now. Predict. Uh-oh, that can hit their land drops. Pierce. Land. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. We are going to loot. What could we hit here? We can't really hit any discard. We'll wait in case he bounces it. Going to loot Entomb here, actually. I guess Gristlebrand's our best bet at this point. If he chases our guy. No land. Ooh, good, no land. If I wasn't worried about them just definitely hitting Jace there, I would have waited, and then I could have entombed for Archetype. But I wanted to see if I could get them to tap their land. This is going to be unfortunate if we draw an Unmask, and I use that Entomb, but I thought maybe it could get them to use their land, their mana. They couldn't Jace. Top, top, top. No shuffle. They must have a Jace, which sucks for us. Can't imagine them not shuffling anything else. It's getting to be rough here. I think he's going to have the Jace. There's no way he doesn't shuffle anything else. Predict. Maybe he wants to draw. Get rid of those two, but then he must have Jace. No Jace, Vendilion Click. So there's the blocker. Revealing Surgical, so he's digging hard. He must have another Surgical. I'm just so confused by all of this, to be honest. keep thinking he has to have a Jace. I'm confused by the the getting rid of surgical there, because I don't really see why he would get rid of it unless he has another one. And I don't know why he would have kept without a Jace. Like, feels like he has another counter here. Okay, so does he have the Jace? We will find out. Come on, no Jace. Wow, we got there. Amazing. All right, we'll be back for the next round.